Testing. Hey. Alright, can you guys hear me? We good? What is that? What is that? It's like sort of like a... Oh, that's sort of like the infrared that's coming off the fire there. Alright. Hey everyone, let me know if everything's coming through alright. I think I've got the audio coming through the webcam there. So, man, we've had a heck of a week, haven't we? That's understatement, I think. Alright, sculptures. Okay. Let's see what I've got. What sculpting tools I've got here. I've got maybe plastic. Let me go plastic first. Okay. So got that going on the correct. Okay, that seems to make sense. Okay, hello everyone. I'm not sure. I hope this is going all right. How's everybody doing? How's everyone doing? Good to see you all. I've got some like infrared light there. Let me go ahead and just try and get that reflection out. There we go. How's that? If I lowered it a little bit, right? So you can get closer. Oh, but that would sort of get the infrared reflection going, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's probably good, right? You guys happy with that? And then once in a while, I'll sort of flick over to the monitor there. How about window capture? Sculptress. Are we good? All right. And what if I sort of... Yeah, what if I sort of do that? All right. Jew. Hi. How are you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. All right. Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Yeah, we've had a heck of a week, haven't we? It's been very stressful for everyone, for developers, for gamers. No one really knows what's going on. But hey, look, tonight I think we're at a point where we can let it all go. Let's all just relax, enjoy the relaxing bonfire while we're here. I'm gonna do some sculpting. I've got a couple monsters that I need to finish for Guardians and Metal Exterminators. So yeah, I'd just like to relax and hang out with you guys. We can just talk about whatever you want. It's been quite stressful because I have a number of titles that are very far along in development in Unity. So, as many people have. All right, let me know if everything looks all right, sounds all right to you guys. Ah, this will be nice just to relax. I've got an apple cider here. I've had a couple coffees today, so I think I'm going to slow down on the coffee tonight. I'm going to enjoy a nice hot apple cider. Ah, gee, that's relaxing. All right, actually, if you guys don't mind, I just need to have a look at my development notes really quick. Hey, from the Void Games. Great to see you, Antonis. Great to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out, and I hope you enjoy the relaxing bonfire here. Okay, if you guys please wouldn't mind, look away. Don't look at my development notes. I just got to open them here. I need to double check which cryptids I'm modeling tonight. I don't. Got to make sure I'm not showing anything on the screen here while I look at my notes. Okay. Here we are. Nope. What do we got? Let's see. We've got Guardians and Metal Exterminators here. Nobody look. Alright, this is top secret. Is everyone looking away? Okay. There's two more that I have to model. Let's see. So I've done the mollusk. Have I done that guy? Yeah, we did that last time. Alright, so that leaves... Okay. Ooh. Okay. Alright. No one even knows what this is. This is going to be great. This is going to be an interesting one. Okay. So this is a cryptid. I'll be sculpting tonight. It's going to be an easy sculpt. I saved one of the easy cryptids to be one of the last ones. This will be it'll be easy to rig, easy to sculpt, and this way we can just sort of hang out. I didn't want to do a very demanding sculpt, and that way we can all just sort of hang out and relax a little bit. So yeah, you know, hey, why don't we talk about what games are you all playing right now? Okay, so I've got a buddy of mine, and we play Smash. Uh, and then just recently, he's been practicing a lot. So my mate plays DDD. He does Kirby. He's very good with Wario. And recently, because I've been working on my games, that's not an excuse. This is not an excuse for me being bad at Smash, right? I've been working so hard. I've just been focusing so hard on my development. I haven't had time to keep up with Smash. So now he's gotten significantly better than me. He's been practicing heaps. He's been, you know, and so he came over the other day and he absolutely destroyed me. And I was just thinking, oh man, okay, so that's another motivation to really get some of my games finished and launched. Is now I've got to get back to Smash, and I've got to catch up to my mate now, who is kicking my butt pretty badly. So yeah, I haven't been playing much, but oh hey guys, can you tell me about so I thought F-Zero 99 was like a brand new, like, offline full F-Zero, but I'm I just saw a couple comments and I'm starting to think that it is an online competitive. Is that true? There's 99 people playing in F-Zero? It's great to see you, Arthur. And look, hey, every once in a while, I'll I'll flip this on and we can just have a look at the sculpt. How about that? That's all right, isn't it? What do you guys think of this setup? So this is the cryptid that I'm sculpting now is going to be the most aerodynamic cryptid that we've ever seen in Silver Falls. So I need to consider, I would really like to be doing this at my larger workstation where I have um, the 4 monitor setup, you know, but partly because it's just a dream. It is such a dream working on a 4 monitor setup that's set up like that. I really enjoy that setup, but also I can have my reference materials there. Here, not so much, you know. So I'm just going to use the grab tool here. This guy's got to be like really, really, really aerodynamic. And he's going to be the fastest cryptid that we've seen in Silver Falls as well. Oh, hey guys, so in case you missed it, in case you hadn't seen it, so you can get the Ghoul Busters soundtrack as a Game Boy ROM. So if you go to the Silver Falls website, I check my YouTube channel, and I posted a video sharing the link to the Game Boy ROM. So you have the Game Boy ROM that is free, and it has the soundtrack for Ghoul Busters. And you know, Ghoul Busters is a 3DS and a Switch game, and I thought it'd be just a fun way to share the soundtrack was to have the soundtrack actually on a Game Boy. So if you've got, you know, the right hardware, you can actually listen to the Ghoul Busters soundtrack on original Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Advance, but much easier. You can deploy it on the Nintendo DS, and you can listen to the Ghoul Buster soundtrack on the DS. And there is a bit of story and character interaction in the soundtrack as well. You get to pick either Atticus or Starlin, and you actually get to walk around in the soundtrack ROM, and you can interact with some of the characters. And depending on the character that you play as, you get different character interactions. I just thought it'd be something fun, just a neat opportunity to spend a little bit more time with these characters. Cool. Okay. Let's see. From the Void. Let's see. 99 on the same track. That's so cool. Is that is that is it free? I mean, obviously, if it was like a couple bucks, I'd pay it. But if it's free, maybe I'll just after this, I'll just download it on the Switch, and then maybe I'll try it out tomorrow. Let's see. Super Smash. I can hear you on my right ear. Is it? Am I only coming through on one side? Let's see. I didn't play F-Zero 99 yet. Is that crazy good? It's really cool. I'm digging F-Zero 99 a lot. Is it going to be limited, though? It's always kind of a bummer when we don't get to have these games. But, you know, nothing in life lasts forever, so I think we should enjoy it while we have the chance. Hey, you know, this could be a good sign if it shows that a lot of people are playing and enjoying it, and they see people are really digging F-Zero. Maybe they will do a brand new one on the Switch. I'd really like to see that. Yeah, I'd like to see a full entry. It's free with Switch Online membership. Oh, great. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. I'll download that. I'll get back to my sculpt here a little bit. So, yeah, there's just, I'm really hoping, this is just a dream. I would love for the Switch 2, which I'm calling the Swooch, you know, well, the Switch U, you know, but the U is in the middle of the word Switch, and it's got an umlaut on it, so it looks like a little smiley face. So it's the Nintendo Swooch U with an umlaut, and I would really love to have a wireless dock features, which means that you'll be able to play the Swooch and that it will wirelessly send video to your television set. And this will give it Wii U functionality, because now you can have your handheld screen and also the TV screen. So now you can have your main content on the screen, you can have your inventory on the Swooch, and also maybe I could do a full remaster of White Inside Its Umbra, and I can put that on the Nintendo Swooch. So here's hoping. The first Fire Emblem for NES that got retranslated was also limited. Oh, I think that's really cool. I think it's great that they even offered that to begin with, you know. Antonis, the soundtrack of Ghoul Busters is so memorable, creepy, and nostalgic at the same time. Thanks, I'm glad you enjoy it. And you know, the reason why I wanted to distribute it or put the soundtrack on the Game Boy is because I actually programmed the Ghoul Busters soundtrack to work on Game Boy. So from the very beginning, the tracks were always Game Boy music tracks, because if I did that, it made sure that the sound would be faithful to the Game Boy hardware. I wouldn't be able to do more than what the Game Boy hardware could do, and that way when you hear the Ghoul Busters soundtrack, you have a connection, you understand, oh, this is definitely a Game Boy soundtrack, you know, and I thought that was an exciting and interesting way to do the soundtrack. Okay, so it's kind of dark. I'm going to manually adjust the video here. Okay, advanced settings. So we're kind of getting, our exposure's not so good, and I'm trying to see if I can adjust it. Okay. Oh, sure, yeah. Okay. What you call it? What does light mean? What does that mean? You know, I don't think I like this webcam as much as my other one. It's just a little funny. Anyway, we're gonna leave it there. Yeah, how's that? Is the image quality okay? Can you guys hear me all right? Antonis, I love for a dual screen gameplay on new Nintendo console, but I doubt it. I hope I'm wrong. It's not difficult to do. The protocol for that, they could just use, you know, existing protocols that we already have that's built into, you know, Android and Apple products do it. It's not something that's unheard of or new. They can iterate on it and improve it, and it's absolutely doable, you know. Yo, that's the dream, the Swooch. That's something the Switch is far inferior to the Wii U, in my opinion, not being able to use the screen in conjunction with the TV. Oh, absolutely. So here's another thing that I dream of for the Swooch is, and thanks for doing the umlaut as well. I would love for the Swooch to be so lightweight that you can purchase an optional VR headset, and I would call it the View, but it would be, you know, with an umlaut. It'd be the Nintendo View, you know, and it's spelled, you know, View. And you can put the Swoosh in the View, and it's seamless, and it'll be really lightweight. It'll be very comfortable to wear, and you can have your VR play, and you can see, you know, your gameplay could be seamless because the Swoosh would know when it goes into the View headset, but also you could still wirelessly broadcast what the VR player sees in the View headset. It could wirelessly broadcast that to the television so that people who are there can also see what the player's seeing, but also you can have one player that's using the View headset and they are able to have asymmetrical gameplay so that the View player can interact in the game world a certain way, and then in the same room sitting next to them are other players and they get to play on the TV. And I think that would be extremely exciting. I've got so many ideas. There's so many things you could do with a concept like that. But that's a dream. It's absolutely doable in terms of our technology. But you know, I don't know if Nintendo, if that's a direction they want to move. But you know, one day if I become very good friends with them, and they ask me for an idea, I'd say that I would like the Swoosh. I would like the wireless asymmetrical picture on the screen, and I would like to have the View headset with asymmetrical gameplay. I think that'd be great. All right, I'm gonna get back to the sculpt a little bit. Right, so this thing's gonna be fast. You know, I'm kind of, you know, I don't know how far it would go in terms of, like, you know, is this a cryptid that people could mistake for something like a thunderbird? You know, I don't think I'd be going that far with this particular cryptid, but it's something that's fast. This is a fast creature, so, but it needs to be creepy as well. So I'm considering aerodynamics, but also it needs to look like there are no like bird cryptids in Silver Falls so far that we've seen, and this was something that's been in the plan. So I'm trying to think of how to make it aerodynamic but also creepy. So that's going to be a challenge. That'll be a very fun challenge, I think. Haven't even hit the save button yet. So oops. I'm gonna put that in there. Okay, good thing I covered that, because that's sort of, don't look at my files there. So what we're going to do, I'm gonna try and give it some eye sockets, right? If we give it some eye sockets that are set in, you know, that sort of gives it a signature Silver Falls cryptid look. We can scale that up and down, you know, as we go. What about you guys? Would you guys like if we got a headset that was just, you know, a more advanced, a very comfortable setup, so that when we do have the Nintendo Swoosh, it would have dedicated VR play? What do you guys think of that? Right, so here's what I'm going to try to do here. I've never really done anything like this, but I might go for like a vestigial, sort of a limb here, and this is sort of like a wing. Yeah, you know what? If it was like real chunky looking malformed wings, I think that'd be pretty fun. I think that'd be great. Sort of like, you know, the wing limbs didn't form correctly, so it's going to be real chunky looking. I think that's something that'd be pretty upsetting to look at, so we're going to lean into that. So you sort of have these, oh no, it's adorable so far. Uh-oh. Okay. Hopefully we get this guy to a point where he's not so adorable. I've never sculpted a creature with wings like this. So this is new. But also they're not like elegant bird wings. They're sort of like meat chunks. And so, you know, that it's not really meant to look elegant, you know. Alright, let's just use the grab tool now and extend this guy out here. We'll just do our sculpt. I grab the front wing a little bit. I'll try to avoid doing that. And then we've got to try to make it, it will flap, you know, it'll flap a little bit, but I've got to get it to look aerodynamic as well, so we will work. Oh no! Oh no! He looks like an adorable little Nessie. Yikes. This guy's cute. This guy's really cute so far. I'm gonna turn the window back on. Hey, what if I move the window a little bit, right? So, sort of like a... What if I just... Uh-oh. I've moved that. I should lock that in place, shouldn't I? Let's see, fit to screen. Go ahead and lock that. Let's just move this little fella. Can I move this fella? What if I just move that? There, yeah, just move him out of the way that you can see. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. That from the Void games, that would be cool. I'd love getting into VR, but price has always scared me away so far. Hey, Indrajit, how's it going? Thanks for coming to hang out. Oh, looks like my window here just took up the... Oh. Fit to screen. Oh, it didn't constrain the proportion. Oh, no, it's fine. It's not stretching it. That's A-okay. Okay, we got a cute little friend here. Oh no, it's the temperature's all right here. It's not too cold, not too hot. It's pretty nice. Oh, hey, I better just put something on the fire here. Sorry guys, 1 second. I'm gonna put some wood on the fire. These pieces are kind of long. I'm just going to chuck them on there. Oops. Whoa, very hot. I'm hanging on to my stylus here for dear life. I don't want my styluses to fall in the fire there. Yeah. Air tap. Hey, thanks for coming to hang out. Good to see you. I've never used a VR headset before, but as an anime fan, I've always loved the idea of it, especially when you consider future tech like full body immersion. That's the dream. Yeah, I'm kind of like a massive mecha fan when it comes to anime. So whenever I saw a mecha where it's sort of like, well, like sort of Evangelion, you know, or I like ones where they kind of like, they put on the headset and they're sort of like in this free floating space and they kind of like move their body and the mecha or the suit, you know, kind of moves with them. Or even like the Wing Zero suit from Gundam, how they wore the helmet or whatever. Or the Zero system, you know, I always love the idea of like this fully immersive headset, and I still haven't seen a VR game that really satisfies my itch to pilot just a big old mecha, you know. And I don't really mind if I'm fighting other mecha or if I'm fighting a kaiju. Just let me go in a mech, you know, honestly, come on now. This setup you have going on looks super cozy too. Yeah, you know, I thought it'd be a great way to just hang out with people and chat and work on a sculpt here. Hopefully, this is my one of my real fears is that I'll be working on a cryptid and I won't be able to get it past the adorable stage. Because this guy's a real cutie, I'm gonna say it now. He's kind of adorable. And I've got to make it so he's not. I'm kind of thinking like fins, right? Like, sort of like Airstream fins, or I mean, I'm not an airplane scientist, so I don't know if you do call it like airplane fins, but I don't know. I've never been an airplane scientist, so I'm just gonna sort of, yeah. These, you know, this one's gonna look like a real malformed sort of a weird chunky deal, and he'll have that signature Silver Falls fleshy look to him. But again, this is the fastest cryptid that we've seen. This one will be available via code linker, and he will be playable in Guardians and Metal Exterminators, which is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Alright, let me just try to, if I just sort of kind of zoom out here. Yeah, so, yeah, we've all had just a real stressful week, and I thought if I did a little fire, we can all just relax. We can listen to the crackle of the fire and just, you know, just chill, just hang out and chill. So I was kind of thinking, so I'm gonna look at the front profile. Oh no, he's so adorable. Oh no, oh, those little fins made him more cute. Oh no. Shoot. Okay, what if he had danglers, right? Yeah, okay, here's what I'm thinking. Danglers. Danglers right there. Sort of tentacle-y bits. That's kind of like, that's less cute. Man vs. Wild Sungrand Edition. Hey, Indrajit, wouldn't it be cool if some of these monsters made it into Animelee? I was considering at one point, doing, like a pack of Sungrand cryptids, just like it, and they could be in Animelee, and I thought that'd be cool, a cool crossover for those two series. So anyway, I mean that's potentially something I could do in the future, just be fun. Okay, so that's so cute. No, that's more adorable than I thought it would be. Damn. Oh, no. I'm getting really... I'm at a stage right now, where, you know, everyone's quite demoralized right now, and everyone's drained, because it's been a stressful week, and I think, here's what I think, because I'm not like a brain scientist, or whatever you call those guys. I think that when I get to the end of like a very long work week, and I've used up, you know, all my work stamina. I think when I reach that point where my stamina is low and I'm still working, I think that's when I tend to just, everything I make turns out adorable, and it doesn't matter how hard I try. Nothing comes out edgy or cool or scary. Everything I make turns out adorable, and I don't know why that happens. I'm not a brain scientist. I'm gonna try these tentacle things again, right? Okay. Okay, look, I'm just gonna, however it turns out, I'm gonna leave it, because this is who this guy is now. So I'm kind of thinking, right, okay, so they're gonna come out to the sides a little bit. Here's what I'm sort of thinking though, right? That is so cute. Oh no. Okay, here's what I'm thinking though, right? I'm sort of thinking like, if it sort of like comes in and it connects like this, right? Yeah, it'll connect like that. Sort of streamline its way into there. Oh no. It's turning out cuter. I don't know if what I'm doing is helping, to make like a really cool, creepy creepy cryptid. Okay. Shoot. I don't know if this is going to end up being the cutest cryptid I've ever made, but he is looking like a real cutie right now. Add the sharp teeth. That's a good idea. Maybe he will have some sharp teeth there for chomping. But he's real fast. That's his deal. Interject, do you create all animal models, or you download somewhere else to Animelee? I'm not sure if someone's asked that one before, but for Animelee, I do all the animating myself, and for the models, I buy them from artists who specialize in creating animals. If I were to do the animal models, it would take me a very long time, and it would not look anywhere near as good because I'm not a specialist in modeling animals. When it comes to that sort of work, you should always go with a specialist who specializes in a particular type of artwork. And in that situation, I tried, and it didn't turn out well doing the photorealistic animals. I was kind of thinking he's going to have a hook in the front, right? So we're going to try that now, and I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. But I know that he's supposed to have a sort of a hook. Like a sort of an eagle beak, you know what I mean? Okay, let's go ahead and flatten that beak out a little bit and broaden it out. And I think we can shape that a bit more as well. Let's go ahead and just try and make it rigid. His eyeballs are real cute. I'm gonna see if adjusting the scale will make a difference here. Man, this thing's just so cute. I don't know if tonight's my night for making a scary cryptid. I'm just gonna leave that there, but one of my primary concerns. So, eagle eyeballs are like they're more sleek looking, aren't they? So I want to give the impression of that, but it's got to be hollow inside. I'll be painting that black inside. Okay, look, we're getting there. I think we're getting there. I think this is getting a little creepier. So he's a little bit less adorable now. Let's just turn off the wireframe. Okay, look, we are getting... Okay, yeah! Yeah, that's not too bad. I'm starting to feel that. I'm really starting to feel that. So he's so cute. He's got a little chubby tummy there, which is quite adorable. Let's look at his adorable little tummy. Hair tip. I mean, you can make it look cute, but when you get close to it, it spawns 1,000 teeth, bloodshot eyes, and a soul-destroying war cry. Yeah, you know, that'd be good because it's misleading, because you think, hey, that thing's kind of cute, and you go up to it, and then it sort of lets loose, and then it's not so cute anymore, isn't it? So we'll do a paint as well on this tonight, and we'll put some real gross flesh, and that usually starts. That's really when things start to come together, you know, when you see the flesh. So here's what we do: we got to tuck that tummy, and we'll have to adjust it so he's not so cute. Because when you got a big chunky tummy, you are very cute. What did I just undo? Is it Control Shift Z with this? Hard to say. Okay. So I'm gonna drag that in. So here's what I'm thinking, right? We got to make it narrow. So as a rule of thumb, things that are slender tend to be creepy. Things that are chunky tend to be adorable. So we're going to slendify, which is a technical term. It definitely exists. We're going to slenderify his cute little belly. There's the grab tool here. he's got to have, I'm kind of thinking fins down here that will sort of anatomically be what his legs are supposed to be. But again, remember, he's sort of, he's got vestigial limbs, he's malformed, he's kind of like a real messed up creature. He's going to be his main flappers here. And he'll have a tail, of course. So we might have a central fin here. So I'd like to get your guys' opinions. How do you think Unity did? Do you think Unity walking back their policy, do you think the end result is acceptable for developers and for gamers as a whole in the game industry? Do you think that their Unity's approach and their position and their original intention, do you think what they've done is acceptable? I have to make that narrow here. Okay, what have we got? Hey, Lunar Knights, good to see you. Nice fire going. Yeah, I thought it'd be just nice and relaxing. We can just take a deep breath. We can let go of all that Unity nonsense. We can just relax. Hot development tips. Yeah, it's true. Nice and hot. Good to see you, Fred. I'm naming Gina say I'm naming this one Little Chubby Tummy. How's it going? Maybe I'll release like a Konami code where if you put in the Konami code, it'll replace the creepy version, and then you can have the chubby tummy one. He's got a little chubby tummy there. Oops, I meant to use the grab tool. So that I'm going to switch over there. So, how do we make him not look like an adorable turtle? Is my goal here. We got to get this guy looking sleek. We're going to zoom on out. We're going to start grabbing and fixing our sculpt here. So there we go. He's starting to look a little more aerodynamic. We're using the grab tool. We're dragging here, and he's got a cute little chest. I was sort of thinking, you know, birds have a pretty strong chest area, and that's because birds have tuberosities on their skeleton, which allow the muscle attachments. So next I will be sculpting the tendons and the muscle attachments to his cute chest. Man, I'm looking at this guy and he's so adorable. I've got to do something to address that. Okay. Alright. We're going to slendify it a little bit more. And what we will do, see, we have two options here. We have the draw tool, and we can hold the Alt key, and that will reverse it. And you can see it starts carving in. So I'll do that. Oh yeah, now he's starting to look bony. That's real good. Real good. Real good. We'll do that now. Get some definition in there like that. That's real good. And then what we will also do, I may have gone a little too far in some places there. What I will also do is also use the crease tool. So I'm going to reduce the strength on this. It's going just a bit too far. You know what? I'm really starting to like this sculpt, actually. This is really starting to come together here. Yeah, he's looking sleek. Look at that. Oh yeah. You know, once you pronounce that that orbital ridge there, it really comes together, doesn't it? Oh, you know what he needs? Nose holes. That's every good cryptid needs. Well, especially like, you know, Silver Falls creatures need a good sort of nose hole. So we got this creepy ridge here. Let's go and fill that in. Yeah, because birds have that nose hole situation going on, don't they? We'll hold the Alt tool. I'm going to zoom right on in there. Hold the Alt. Hold on. I didn't hit the angle that I wanted, did I? Yeah, that's got something going on now. Okay, I'm feeling that. That's looking bird-like now. I'm feeling that. Let's go ahead and kill the wireframe for a bit. Yeah, rock on. Let's go ahead and make him like this cool red thing. Yeah. Alright, what do you guys think of that so far? I'm just going to enjoy some of my hot apple cider. If you've guys got a coffee, if you've got a cup of tea, hey, enjoy that. Let's all just relax. Fred, did you do a video where you add bones to get the skin to move with the bones? I'll do that. People have been asking for that, so maybe tomorrow I'll do a video. Well, I'd like to do a live stream, and then I can show you the process of that. For something like this, it wouldn't really be that complicated. It's quite more attention intensive when you have creatures that need to make contact with the ground. You need to set up their rig so that you have an inverse kinematic change. So when they contact with the ground, they can sort of, bend all of the necessary joints. That's quite time-consuming and frustrating. This guy doesn't make contact with the ground. He's just a flyer, which is quite rare in Silver Falls. But we got the balloon enemies in Ghoul Busters, and they appeared in Ruby River. So this guy will be joining them as one of the few flying cryptids in Silver Falls. But yeah, you know what? I will do a video, and I'll show putting some bones in this fun fella. Did say acceptable? Oh, is what they did acceptable? End result is only acceptable, as you mentioned, only if they restore the terms of service GitHub repo and keep it maintained. That's a term that matches anything that would renew good faith in the company. It's tough because I don't feel comfortable with Unity right now. I'm not really. Whoa, where'd my dude go? Did you guys see where my dude went? Uh-oh. Hello? I'm just gonna go ahead and open and hope that I saved it at some point. What happened to the dude? Did you guys see what happened to my dude? Hello? Oh, that's weird. Okay. Okay, so our little chubby buddy disappeared. I am going to open Sculptress again, and hopefully he'll be there, because I don't want to start that again. I don't know what I must have clicked something. I don't know. Let's hope that it's still there. Okay, good. All right, our chubby buddy's back. Okay, nobody worry. We got our nose holes. It's fine. Okay. What time is it there? It is 12:18 a.m. I gotta stoke the fire a bit. I'm gonna put some logs in there. Let's see. Gino say, I don't trust Epic, but I'm still more confident in their desire to keep Unreal viable. From what I've seen, Unreal tends to focus on moving the industry forward, but incrementally, whereas Unity is languishing in monetization, and it refuses to do anything to move the industry forward. It isn't innovating. It isn't pushing forward. Okay, so our chubby buddy disappeared again. What is up with that? I'm gonna try it again. It's when I look away, right? You're not supposed to look away. That's what's going wrong here. Okay. I gotta tend to the fire here for a second. I'll be right back. Let's get this back on here. Anyway, let's go ahead and see if maybe I must have touched the screen a weird way with the stylus here. So, all right. So let's just sort of, okay, he's got to have bottom fins here. Let's go ahead and just slap them on real quick. So I'm in Australia, and it is, yeah, it's 12:20 right now. Oh, see, here's, yeah, okay, no, that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna put some bottom fins on this fun fella here, our little chubby buddy. Here's my concern though. I think it's great hanging out with all of you, doing these cool sculpts, but my concern is that we're gonna have so much fun doing these sculpts on live stream that when you meet these cryptids in the game, they won't be scary to you. And that is a legitimate concern that I have. Because the relationship that we have with in-game enemies is very important, and it's a dynamic that needs to be very well considered. As a developer, you need to consider what is the first encounter with these creatures, where do people first meet these creatures, how do they interact, what is the result of those interactions, and that shapes your feelings towards that creature, and it affects the way that that creature can influence the player's thoughts and reactions. For example, a very clear example of this is when you first encounter the hunter enemy in Resident Evil. If you're not familiar with that, you sort of go through a mansion. It's very difficult. You're dealing with zombies, but you eventually kill all the zombies, or you avoid them. Then you leave and think, oh good, I'm finally done. I don't have to worry about those zombies anymore. You come back, and the zombies aren't there, but now there are totally different enemies, and they're way faster, and they're way more dangerous than zombies. And the very first interaction you have with the hunter in Resident Evil is shocking, because there's a very good chance that you will not be prepared to deal with it, and there's a very good chance that you'll be killed by it. And it is very important to consider those types of interactions the first time you meet that enemy, the first time you exchange an interaction. And it's sort of like the first impression, you know, you can't redo, you never get a second attempt at a first impression. Teeth will get rid of the adorability. And you know, I think maybe we do need some adorability. We'll see. We'll have to start slapping some teeth on this boy. Maybe he'll have too many teeth. From the Void Games, don't think it's acceptable. They made it clear what is their priority to monetize at the expense of the entire indie dev industry. Hope an exit is found and everyone moves away from Unity. Yeah, you know, to be honest with you guys, I'm now installing different game engines now. I think I've got 5 I'm looking at right now, and I want to finish because I have a bunch of games that are partially completed in Unity using frameworks that I've spent years and years creating, and I want to finish those, and I want my future games. This is a shame because I really like using the Unity as a solution for game development. I really like the interface. I really like working in C#, and I am willing to give up all of those things that I like. Unity is my favorite game engine, and I am willing to give all of those things up to use an engine that has the industry's best interests as their priority. And I feel very confident in saying that the industry's best interest does not align with Unity's best interest. I think all of Unity's interests in terms of their leadership go against the best, what is best for the game industry. Jose, and you definitely love the Lion's SRK in Animele. What's SRK? What is that? Super roundhouse kick? Sure you can. Sure you can. Air tap. Overall, I feel they just did everyone dirty. Oh yeah, yeah, they certainly did. Fortunately, I'm still new to learning for finishing my first game and getting it on the Google Store, so I'll look around for a new engine to try out. You know, AirTap, what sort of games do you want to make? Because Game Maker can be a very good solution for that I've heard. I've heard that people are really enjoying using Godot right now, but I'm not sure what their process is to deploy to um, the Google Play Store. I know that Game Maker does a lot to help you in terms of deploying to the Google Play Store. Okay, so I want these fins to fan out. Okay, yeah. So this is basically, so I'm using a concept here that is an industry term. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's just a joke. So I don't do concept sketches for my monsters, and the reasons I don't do my concept sketches for my monsters is I use a philosophy called concept on canvas, where I create the concept on the canvas itself, which is what you see now. And that's because I've been mentally preparing this design in my head for weeks. I've been actively thinking about the intent of this creature. What does it need to do? What function does it serve? Logistically, how can this creature exist in the space in which it is supposed to exist? And so I've already considered these designs. Because I do all the artwork myself, I don't need to do concept sketches because I don't need to run these ideas by another artist. I don't need to explain or justify these ideas to other artists. I do everything myself. And so that allows me to use the concept on canvas method, or COC, the COC method, if you will. There we go. We're looking good. We're looking good here, guys. So I'm checking my proportions. That looks fast. So you see how I'm going to try to make these fins look faster is to taper them. Oh, that looks kind of chunky and gross, doesn't it? Okay, so what we'll do, and usually when it comes to teeth, I'll usually put them in an external modeling program like Maya or Blender, and that allows me to get just really sharp jagged edges without having to sculpt them because I have teeth already that I have set up. Then I can just copy and paste those teeth. So generally, in terms of teeth, I add them later on. So I will use the inflate tool, and I will hold Alt to reverse. Okay, that's gone way too far. Let's go ahead and turn down the strength on that bad boy. And Sculptress is free. Sculptress can make production-ready models. So if you need a sculpting program, look for Sculptress. It is free. It's made by. It's not updated or maintained, but it's made by the company that does ZBrush, which is an industry standard. So Sculptress kind of gives you a taste for all this stuff, and then if you need more tools and more power, you can switch to ZBrush. So, but I really like Sculptress. It's simple, it doesn't do too much, so I don't end up relying on the tool too much. And I can recommend the tool to people because it's totally free. So you can make production level models with Sculptress. Okay, but I like that meaty little meat hooks up there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just start sculpting our attachments. So it looks like our tendons are actually attached to these limbs here. I'll go back to my drawing tool. And you can use a mouse. I even had a live stream a couple of months ago where I used a touchpad on a laptop because I was outdoors, and I didn't have my drawing tablet with me. I prefer using drawing tablets. It's just a real comfortable experience. It's really satisfying to sculpt with this setup. But you can use other drawing tablets that don't have the monitor built in, or you can even use a mouse to sculpt. What's great about this is there's pressure sensitivity for the stylus. It's behind you. He became a real monster. Be careful out there. From the void. Jerrel, can I ask what's the name of that device you use for drawing and sculpting? This is a Wacom drawing tablet. This is the Wacom Cintiq, Cintiq, but there are way cheaper options. If you look for XP Pen, they have much cheaper options. This one, it costs probably around 1,000 US, and I purchased it because I need it for work. But if I wasn't using this regularly, I would not have bought it. And it was quite a few years ago. I probably bought this around 2011 or 12. But these days, I'll type it into the chat here. Is XP Pen is one brand, and I think for way cheaper. I think for maybe like 200, 300. Please don't quote me on that. I have looked it up, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. XP Pen makes the exact same, kind of product. And it will only cost you like 200 US or 300 US, around that price range. But please don't quote me, just in case that model isn't sold anymore for some reason. So yeah, XP Pen drawing tablet. Drawing tablet. There we go. I'll put that in the chat there. So, and you can see how quickly I made this sculpt. Like I'm half paying attention to this, and I'm hanging out and chatting with you guys. Moose-Stake framework. That's right. Yeah, the Moose-Stake framework I used for Ruby River, and the Moose-Stake framework is also going to be used for Diamond Island on the Switch. So Diamond Island will play similarly to Ruby River using the same framework, but you're going to be able to do way more in Diamond Island. You'll be able to build moving mechanical things. Fred Bluntstone, it's a Flappy Bird. It's a Flappy Bird out of Silver Falls. I'm going to tighten up these ridges. So again, I said I'll put some tendons on this fun guy here. Ooh. So birds have these powerful chest muscles, right? So they need to attach there. So you need to express a sense of tendons and musculature underneath the sculpt, so that it is visually, not only needs to be visually engaging, but visually convincing. And there's also a degree of charisma, which all of your creatures either have or don't have. Sometimes you see an enemy and it just clicks with you and you think, man, that thing looks neat. And that is because these designs, there's always a degree of charisma, but charisma is not accidental, it is purposeful. And so those are things you need to consider. So I'm just thinking of the musculature here. This is meat. This little front flap is just pure chunky meat. That's what this guy is. There we go. We have a sense of bones underneath there now. So let's go ahead and we'll do a couple of these, right? We'll just make it seem like there's some ribs back there. How about that? There we go. We're starting to look nice and chunky in a good way now. There we go. So we're past the cute phase now, I'm pleased to say. And now it looks like he's got some ribs in there. Nice, happy ribs. There we go. And let's put one more. Okay, that's good. I'm not happy with the placement of the last rib there. I'm going to space it out a bit more. See how we have increasing space intervals? I'm just going to, for the final rib, just space it out a little farther. Okay, this is looking all right. We're going to add some musculature to the skull, then to the back legs, and then we'll start painting it. This sculpt is actually quite fast. I breezed through it a little bit. Then we can chat and hang out more while I paint some delicious, beautiful KFC skin onto this guy. I have KFC on the mind because I had KFC earlier today, and it was very delicious. It is important to maintain a healthy diet, but I was actually, I'll just be honest with you guys. I'll open up to you. This past week has been quite stressful. I had recorded a speech for the industry earlier today and recorded that. And I just wanted to get back to making games for people, but there's been a lot going on with Unity. It's been so stressful. I generally try to maintain a healthy diet, but man, if I didn't drive past a KFC today and think I'm just gonna eat some KFC, I'm gonna eat some popcorn chicken, I'm gonna get a zinger, you know, and you know, it was delicious anyway. And I'm not saying that you should eat to deal with stress, but I will say that KFC is very delicious, and maybe I'm sponsored by KFC. You don't know, I'll never tell. Neo Merch, hey Ben, good to see you. Hope to dream about this creepy design tonight. Well, we haven't even started painting him yet. We're almost at a point. This will be the rough draft. We're almost to the point where we'll start painting. In a couple of minutes, we'll start painting him. I think that'll be fun. AirTab, my next project idea is a 2D game, so Godot is definitely on my radar. Thought about learning Unreal 2, but apparently it's not ideal for mobile development. But I do play mobile games that use it. Right. From my understanding, Unreal is a bit heavy. And from what I've heard, it is Unreal has strengths focusing on 3D development, but not so much in terms of 2D. I've heard that people prefer Godot for 2D. And again, I'm not entirely sure about the deployment process from Godot when it comes to deploying that onto Android. So I won't be able to advise on that, but I will be looking up that information this coming week, so I can know that information for myself. I do know that Game Maker Studio is quite strong when it comes to that. I'm going to move the camera a bit. I'm picking up a little bit of reflection from the campfire there. Okay, I'm just going to aim this down a little bit now. It's funny, you get some reflective infrared light from the fire. What kind of meat does this guy taste like? It's old KFC, like you left it in your car last week, and it's the middle of summer. That's what this guy tastes like, is car KFC. So you see how this flap here has no real form to it. This has shape. It has a shape, but it does not have form. And form is visual communication to let you know what that is. It is letting you know what is underneath the skin, and it communicates visually what you're looking at. So I'm just going to connect with some musculature here. I'm going to shape that. I'll zoom out a bit. And we're going to just put some musculature on this guy here. And this is fun. Honestly, you guys, if you want to sculpt like this, it does not cost a lot to get a drawing tablet, and you don't necessarily even need the ones with the monitors in them, as they are a little bit more expensive. But again, XP Pen makes the most affordable ones that I've seen. They have a number of shortcut buttons on them for macros, which makes this just an absolute delight, and it's so fun to sculpt this way. Okay. I'm just going to undo. I don't like what I've done just there. I want that part to look fast, real fast. Okay. Let's make it look like the muscles are connected here, thusly. And like so. Yeah, and we can, absolutely, if you guys want, we can do a video. See now it has form. Not only does it have shape, it now has form, and it looks like there's muscles underneath there. And that's important to consider. Otherwise, it just looks like an adorable little plesiosaur. Which maybe that's what you're going for. If you want to make a cute, big cutie, a cutie cute game, then have more shape and less form. So the rule of thumb is that the less detail something has, the more adorable it is. And the more detail something has, the more horrifying it is. And again, you combine it with the tip earlier that things that are slender tend to be scary. You can have something that is slender and very detailed, and you can sort of think of something like a Junji Ito artwork, you know. And Junji Ito just has really incredible, beautiful artwork. And you think of the really disturbing artwork and panels, and those are the ones that have the most detail in them. Let's get a little bit of form here just to suggest musculature. Okay, that's looking pretty nice. See, it kind of feels like there are bones in there now, right? And what we'll do is we'll carve into this a little bit now, so it kind of looks like there's just a bit more muscle detail in there, muscle definition. I'm really feeling it. I'm going to put a little bump here, just a happy little bump. And then it'll seem like there's like a knuckle in there, you know, like a tuberosity on the bone. Something like that. There we go. Okay, guys. Hey, we're almost done with the sculpt. I'll go back and optimize it later on, you know, and I'll do a bit more work on it. But just for the stream, I'll call this the first draft, and then we will paint it. So very soon. Let me just go ahead and finish up this little. I'll catch up with the chat now. Then we'll just finish the details on his cute little tail. I'll try to make his butt look less adorable. Honestly, I'm not feeling confident right now because I'm kind of thinking his little butt's very cute, isn't it? Oh no! I think I made it more cute. I'm gonna leave it. I think I'm gonna make it worse. I'll leave it. He's got like a. This is like a OC Pokemon Don't Steal vibe going on. Well, she is beautiful. Should be on everyone's radar. Null Data. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out at the live stream. Good to see you. Hi there, Jerrel. Do you think learning C# is still a viable option in game dev aside Unity? I started learning it a couple of weeks ago and have some confusion now. Let's see. Let me give it some thought. I would really like to be able to advise you better. But at this moment in time, I don't have a confident answer for you at this moment in time. It really depends on the kind of games that you want to make and the platform that you want to deploy your games on. So for me, right now I'm exclusively developing for Nintendo. But if you are just starting out with programming for your games, learning any language is very important. When you're starting out learning to program, learn any language, because if you learn to program any language, you are learning to understand how to give instructions to the game engine via text. So even if you've learned C# now and then you stop using it and you have to go somewhere else 9 months later, the skills that you learn from using C#, those will translate over to other languages. You won't be using the same commands, but you will understand the concepts of using commands or issuing commands through text. And depending on what other languages you move to, there's a strong chance that much of the syntax will be very similar. You know, your if-then statements, using brackets, using parentheses. Much of that is often similar between different languages. I've used many languages in the past. Objective-C for creating Apple apps is my least favorite. I don't like it at all. C++ was not my favorite, but it was necessary because C++ is where I learned the fundamentals of programming. Before that, I actually learned whatever game maker calls their language. I did a heap of that in the early 2000s, and that's not even a really fully fledged, widely used programming language, but learning to use the game maker language taught me how to program so that when I needed to move to other languages, I was able to learn them very quickly because I understood the concepts. So yeah, even learning C# now is a good idea. Neomerge. Now I'm wondering if anyone will befriend one of the Silver Falls baddies in a game. Okay, see, here's the thing. I grew up with Digimon and Pokemon, um, and Monster Hunter, so in my head, I'm just I'm so attached to befriending a monster. I love those kind of games, especially Monster Rancher. I'm a big Monster Rancher guy. Don't even get me started. I'll talk about Monster Rancher all day long. Um, so I'm really into that, befriending a monster and just going around and being buds and beating up other monsters. You know, I think that's what life is all about. Um, but I think in Silver Falls, I don't think that will ever occur. But there are a lot of animals in Silver Falls, and you can always team up with a good animal buddy. You know. Colonel Sanders is now a black mage on Final Fantasy XIV. Are you serious? Is that something they've actually done? That's pretty fantastic. That sounds cool to me. A Neo merge. I know my company uses C# for enterprise software. It's not gaming related though. Like Jerrel said, learning a language is the best start. Yeah, yeah. Null Data, thank you for your reply. Yeah, no worries. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. There's a Discord. You can comment on any video. Just feel if you need any help at all, you just ask. Monster Rancher Nation. I'm a big Monster Rancher guy. Yeah. Love the Monster Rancher anime. I have the anime saved on a hard drive. On I have a computer in my office. It's got the full anime saved on the hard drive. Sometimes I'll just boot up an episode. That theme song, man, is it's up there for me. It's not as good. You know, I wouldn't rank it as highly as the X-Men theme song. I wouldn't rate it as highly as the Pokemon theme song, but I really do like the Monster Rancher theme song. I'm gonna have to put some wood on the fire here in a second. Okay, we need to de-cutify his flaps down here because they're a little bit adorable. So let's go ahead and hold Alt. Okay, yeah, and this fella, this cryptid will be playable in my upcoming Switch game, Guardians and Metal Exterminators. So you'll get to play as this fella, but you'll have to use code linker data to make this guy available. And I haven't told a single soul what the Silver Falls game is that this guy comes out of. And now I'm in a position, I'm in a position where I don't necessarily want to make that game in Unity. The Silver Falls game that this cryptid will come from doesn't have to be made in Unity. Let's make him sleek. I'm going to start using the crease tool, so I'm going to give him crease lines, racing lines, you know, racing stripes. I'm pretty happy with how that's turning out. Let's go ahead and use the crease tool now, and then that'll really make this guy start looking a little bit more creepy here. We're going to sharpen him up here. So we use our crease tool. We might reduce the brush size maybe. There we go. Something like that. Yeah, I'm really starting to feel that. Okay, we're going to sharpen up his ridges here using our crease tool. We're going to increase the strength on that crease tool as well, just like this. There we go. Yeah, and if you guys know other people that are looking for some advice or tips, especially if you're getting started or you're in the middle of starting your game development journey, send them my way. I'm always happy to help. I'm always happy to give advice and share what I know. And if I can help save you guys some frustration and some time when you're starting your game development journey, I'm always happy to help people with that. Because there's a lot of things that you can get stuck on when you're starting out. Even in your first year or two, there's a lot of things that you can end up wasting time on when someone could have shared some advice with you and helped you avoid getting caught in a pitfall, you know. Okay, so we're just going to put some tendons on this fella here, and then we're going to paint him. We're going to paint him up, and he's going to look real good. All right, here we go. I'm starting to really feel this design. Yeah, this is great. it's very fun doing these videos with you. Obviously, it's fun to hang out, but we can always go back and then look at the sculpt early on, and you can see what adorable little chunky things they start out as. I think that's always quite fun. All right, we're gonna smoothen out some of these troughs here, and then we'll just give him a couple tendons with the draw tool here. So I'm kind of thinking about how his skull attaches to his body. Let's just go ahead and sort of get some tendons in there. Great, great. Okay, we'll hold Alt. If you hold Alt again, that reverses the effect of the tool. Smoothing that out. Hold Alt. Smooth that out. I think maybe just a little bit here. Alt again. Yeah, this is where I really like having a pressure sensitivity on the tool, you know? Alt to narrow that out, to narrow that out. And I'm feeling pretty good about this guy. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to extend his ridges here, his facial ridges. I want to extend them out to accentuate them so they stand out more. And that way, he's a fast mover. This is going to be the fastest Silver Falls cryptid that we've ever seen. I'm really liking these layers here on his skull. These really turned out. It's quite satisfying working on these builds because, again, I use a personal design philosophy called concept on canvas, the COC method, or the COC method, where I create the concept on the canvas itself. I don't do concept sketches, and that's because, again, I do at least 1 to 2 weeks of pre-planning these designs in my head internally, and because I'm doing all the artwork myself, I don't have to pass the ideas off to anyone else. So that method works only in specific situations. I am really feeling this design. This has turned out exactly how I wanted it to turn out. Okay, let's go ahead and turn off wireframe mode. Let's just, you know what, let's just all relax. Let's just take a drink of whatever hot beverage you've got with you, whether you've got a coffee or I've got hot apple cider here. I do enjoy a nice Earl Grey tea as well. That's nice. All right, hey, let's go ahead and get ready to paint some texture on this guy, huh? We'll go, and again, I don't tell the people the names of the monsters because I want people to look at the Silver Falls monsters, to look at that and go, what in the heck is that thing? And there's only very few situations in the Silver Falls games where the monsters themselves have a name and you're told the name, because for the vast majority of the time I want people to make up the names because that allows players to build a relationship with the monsters in their own way. I think of it this way, you know, when we played games, for example, on the Nintendo Entertainment System or the Super Nintendo or the Genesis, and there was a certain degree of abstract quality to the creatures where, because there was less detail, we had to fill in the blanks, and we thought, well, that looks like a top hat with a machine gun, so that's the gun top hat. And you would call that enemy, you didn't know the enemy's name, but you would just think of it as, well, that's the machine gun top hat. And when you do that, you, the player, are forming a relationship and you feel an attachment to that enemy, and that gives it some charisma. And that is an approach that I always keep in mind when designing Silver Falls cryptids and implementing them in the games. Is generally I'll never tell anyone the name of these creatures, so that when you play the game, and they're often in situations where you think, well, what the heck is that thing? You guys get to make the names of the creatures. Gino's, are we doing a full Monster Rancher anime stream in the Discord? I'll do it. I'll do that. We can watch it. I've got some popcorn. I've got some Tim Tams. We can start after the stream. I'll watch Monster Rancher any day. Don't even tempt me. I love Monster Rancher. Oh, Luna Knights, you gotta go. Hey, I'm glad you were able to hang out. Thanks. We'll see you again, Luna Knights. We'll see you soon. Neomerge, the fact that dude was playing a PS1 in the anime was so cool. That was one of the first situations where they really broke the fourth wall for me. It was so cool seeing him play a PS1 in the show. I'm gonna put some wood on the fire here, and then we'll paint this guy right up. Alright, let's see what I got here. Position that guy. Alright, where's my poker? Where's my poking tool? I can't see where I put my poker tool. Alright, well, let me just manhandle this with another stick. There we go. Oops, I've knocked over a piece that I wanted to be upright. Let me go ahead and fix that. Okay, we got a nice pyramid shape here. We've got some decent airflow. That'll be fine for now. It'll be good. Alright. You can't put your CDs in an N64. Well, yeah, no, even the disk drive, the 64DD, yeah, that was its own thing. That wasn't even CDs. This guy is clearly from Everblue 3 Silver Falls Nautica. How did you guess the name of the game? You didn't open my documents, did you? Alright, what we're going to do is we're just going to briefly, we're just going to reduce the triangle count. We're at 683,000 triangles, so we're just going to let sculptures, see, I'm pressing the reduce selected button, right? And then that just is an automated function that'll just reduce the poly count. That's one reason I really like Sculptress, is you can use it to optimize your models. You can use a brush and paint sections to reduce the poly count. I'll do that later on. Right now I'll just do a quick test so we can paint it. We're just hanging out, and then once I start painting it, we can hang out more. I can pay more attention to the chat and what's going on here. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on paint. And let's paint this guy. This will be pretty fun. Neomerge, I like the Monster Rancher card game for PS1 and GBC, but the real-life Monster Rancher TCG is too complex. I read the manual like 3 times and still understand it. Thank you! Thank you! My friends and I, growing up, we never played a single game of the Monster Rancher TCG because we could not figure it out. And I don't think we were that dumb. We figured out Magic the Gathering, and we figured out Pokemon, so yeah, and my friends played Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think I ever played a single game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I didn't have any Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I think at that point I was capped out from the other card games, so yeah, we've never played a Monster Rancher match. You caught that. That's a lot of tries. Yeah, don't worry. It's reduced. We're at 159,000 triangles. It's fine now. I would optimize it more, obviously. Neomerge. I love how primitive the Pokemon designs were in Pokemon Green. They looked way better by US Blue and perfect in Yellow. Neomerge. Have you seen? I thought I saw a video where somebody they redid the artwork for the sprites, but they made them full color and whatnot, but used the shapes from the original Green, and it looks so neat. It's just very fun to see, you know. Neomerge, the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Game is Dark Duel Stories for GBC. It's super simplified, and you can create your own cards in it. Whoa, that sounds cool. Huh. Yeah, for anyone that missed it, a secret heads up, I am working on a Silver Falls TCG as well, so pretty excited about that. Has everyone in the chat sort of already heard about that, or not yet, really? I haven't done an official announcement. I've only talked about it on stream, because on stream we're all just hanging out, you know, just relaxing. And I've shared details of the TCG in a previous stream before. So I've got a couple things here. If you sort of look at the screen there, I have a preset library that I build up. This isn't the full library. This is only some things. We're going to start out with some of this. So there's a particular flesh, like this particular flesh that I've just selected. This one I reserve for the face takers. You know, I have a certain family of cryptids, and I try to maintain consistent design philosophy between those families. This guy's not a face taker, so he isn't allowed to use this striated muscle. And no cryptids are allowed to use that unless they are in the face taker family. I'm just going to go ahead and start with this sort of very typical Silver Falls bloody flesh thing. I just wanted to get a base layer down. And then we just want to cover all the empty spots with just a bit of paint. Zoom on now. All right, so this step, I'm just going to dial it back, not speed through it. I'll just take this at a nice, relaxing pace, and then we can all just hang out and chat more. Oh, you haven't seen the sprites remade, but you'll look for. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you search for Pokemon Green sprites full color or recolored or something, maybe that's how I found it. Yeah, this is actually looking really close. So when I work on this model more, I think I'm gonna make this rear part skinnier and then stretch it out a bit more. This is very close to what I want for the final product. This is basically what you guys are looking at now is the Pokemon Green version of this enemy. This is the beta version of this cryptid. The final version, he'll be more sleek, he'll be less chunky, and he'll be stretched out a bit more at the rear. So we've got a base layer of color. I said I was going to slow down. I have a tendency to speed through these things because after working on so many Silver Falls games simultaneously, I sometimes, while I'm working, just get into this gear automatically where I'm working way too fast, just uncomfortably fast, because that's how I had to make all of the previous Silver Falls games. So now I can't seem to stop myself from sort of shifting into that high gear where I'm just working way too fast. So now I actively have to just think about it and go, I need to stop. There's no reason why I should be pushing so hard right now. Well, technically, I mean, there kind of is, because I really want my Unity games to be finished at this point. Oh, Ben, you see them on DeviantArt? They're cool. Man, I love fan art. I think it's really great. Okay, so we've got a base layer here. I'll save this as stage 3. Yeah, it's kind of uncommon for me to live stream at this time, but I thought it's better for Europe, I think, at this time. And you know, everyone's got a different schedule. And this way, if I'm filming at night, it's 1 a.m. for me here. At least I can share a bonfire with you guys. I think it's a pretty relaxing environment. So we have that sort of skin. Now, I think what would be interesting is if the ridges, you know, the bodily ridges, had less blood, and it sort of gave an impression of sort of like bone, you know, because you wouldn't necessarily see blood flow through bone, so it gives it that sort of impression. And in the final version, what I would do is turn off symmetry. It tends to look quite artificial and inorganic when there's symmetry for painting. So I will turn off symmetry in a moment here. And painting like this is quite satisfying. This is very enjoyable. What do you guys think of this cryptid so far? For me, I'm quite satisfied because it looks how I wanted it to look. Again, I do a lot of planning mentally ahead of time, so by the time I'm here on the canvas, I know exactly what I want the fellows to look like. This looks exactly like how I wanted, except it's a little chunky back here. Again, I'll work on it more tomorrow. This is just my Pokemon Green version of this enemy. What I will do now, so you see it looks quite artificial, right? So I'm going to expand this a bit. We can have a look at it. There, you can have a bigger, closer look. How's that? Let's see. Let's paint black in the eye holes here. And then, of course, in the shader map details, or in the sort of shader details, I'll make sure that it doesn't reflect light, so it just looks like an empty chasm in there. Okay, great. So we've got that sort of bloody situation. Dark version of the skin there. Okay, so let's get a little bit of variety and variation. So we have a darker skin here, right? If I selected the darker one, I want to select the darker one just to give some variety to our tonality here. And that will help us communicate and express the shapes that are on here by using a darker skin tone. We'll just paint that in. And so as an artist, it's your job to help someone understand something. And when you are sculpting and painting a creature, it is your job to help someone understand the shape and the form of whatever it is they're looking at. So by using this darker skin color here, I'm actually making those bones pop out visually more. And they're easier to understand the shape of. So that's the intention of those things. That's why I'm painting those. In general, artists who care less, who don't show this level of attention, will not paint like this. They'll just let the game engine and the lighting system do all the communicating for them. But that's a very weak way of expressing something visually. It's a very weak way of communicating, and it tends to look quite dull, I think. See, I'm painting darker skin tone in the crevices. It helps the form be easier to understand. Okay. You know, you guys tell me, do you want to see this guy in engine tonight? Honestly, I don't even want to look at Unity. I was working earlier on Guardians and Metal Exterminators. I'm just going to open up with you here. It's real talk time. I had Unity open earlier. I was working on Guardians and Metal Exterminators, and I just did not feel good. You know? And it's not a good feeling because I do feel very betrayed by Unity Technologies, and I felt that way when JR, as you call him in the business, John Riccitello. I've seen people call him John Fettuccini or whatever it is. I felt very gross when he called developers that use Unity who don't prioritize monetization, he called us effing idiots, and I felt very gross. And I didn't even like using the engine. I didn't like opening it. I didn't like looking at it. Knowing that the leadership of Unity feels that way and actively thinks negatively about its users, it doesn't feel good. And people feel so demoralized right now, and I'm going to keep working in Unity because I have to keep developing my games and I have to launch them. but it just feels gross working in Unity right now, and it's not pleasant. And I'm really looking at my options, at what can I develop right now and not use Unity. Is there something that I can just quickly learn another engine and just create a game? Because I don't like engaging with the Unity environment right now. It just doesn't feel good. But I have to keep doing it, because as a professional, you have to do things that are not pleasant. You have to do things that you don't like, because it is what you must do. Even if it is unpleasant, it's what you must do. Neomerge just recently played through Alone in the Dark Inferno on PS3. Is that the one where like your inventory is in your jacket? You open up your jacket and your sort of items are in there. Is that the one? Or is that the one that they just called Alone in the Dark? Yeah. Probably one of the most overly ambitious games I played. It's like someone threw out a million ideas and they somehow managed to execute on all of them, but barely. I know exactly what you're talking about. I have felt very similarly when I tried to play through that game with a friend of mine. We tried so hard, but man, they had a lot of ideas, and they didn't really mix together well, did they? AirTap. To me, it's incredible. Looks very Lovecraftish. Oh, hey, I'm glad you like it. I know you haven't finished it yet, but I like the fleshy kind of look to it. Thanks. You know what? With Silver Falls Cryptids, I always want to come up with new, different ideas, right? Different shapes, different functions. I want the enemies to engage with you mechanically in different ways. But I also want to maintain a consistent design philosophy. And what I mean by that is, if you look at Pokemon from the first generation, like Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, all of the Pokemon fit together. They look like they're from the same game. When you look at Pokemon from the newest games, Scarlet and Violet, those Pokemon don't look like they belong with the earlier Pokemon. There isn't a consistent design philosophy between all of them. And I think in many cases, within Scarlet and Violet, many of the Pokemon don't even look like they belong in the game. They don't look like they belong with other Pokemon in the same game. And you would just think it's an elemental creature, could be from any game. And so one of my focuses with the Silver Falls series and the cryptids is to create creatures that, when you look at it, you would say, oh yeah, that's definitely a Silver Falls monster. You look at it, and even if you don't actively understand why it looks like a Silver Falls creature, you still are able to understand it and identify it and say, yeah, that's definitely from Silver Falls. So yeah, this is going to be a creature that flies. Okay, you know what? His little tendrils, they make sense to me now that I'm looking at it. So man, I'm pretty happy with how this thing turned out, and I think it can look pretty creepy in environment in full lighting. I think yeah. It was just called Alone in the Dark on 360, the PS3 version. They added one extra area in the middle of the game and did bug fixes. I think I had the 360 version. All right, you know what? Let's just have a look at what this guy looks like in full lighting. All right, we'll load him up in engine. You can't let negative feelings dictate your life. You can't let negativity control you. You do what you've got to do, and you stay positive about it. So we're going to boot up Unity. We're going to look at this bad boy in engine. Alright, we're going to export the model here. Hit the export button. Okay. I'll just put a code name in there just to have a file name. Okay. Save protection. We're doing it. Oh, Antonis, you stepped away, and now you see the creature's not adorable anymore, huh? We did it. We fixed it. He's not adorable anymore. But you know what? When we're done with the stream, you can always go back. You can have a look at the very beginning, and you can see how cute he used to be, you know? It's kind of like a Digimon or a Pokemon. They start out cute, don't they? And then they turn into a dragon with cannons on his back, you know? Alright, this is our dude. We've exported our files. We're going to open it in Unity. So what I'll do right now, just as to quickly prototype some texture maps, what I will do is I will use shader map to just quickly pump out some normal maps and some spec maps. You know, they'll be rough, but at least it's something to have in there. Okay. Let me have a sip of my nice cool drink while we wait for it to load. Hey, why don't I, guys, why don't I play a bit of my cello banjo for you? I use the cello banjo in the Silver Falls soundtracks. It's a very rare instrument. I'll play some cello banjo for you while we wait for Unity to open. How about that? We'll put that on the ground just there. Alright, you know, let's all have a relax together. We've got a cello banjo here. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that. Relaxing bit of music there. Okay. Hey, let's see what we've got here. Uh, earliest Agumon looked so mean. Yeah, yeah. Over time, they try to make them look more cute because I guess they can sell more merchandise that way, can't they? Antonis, yes, I relax so much from the campfire that I get a little afternoon nap. Hey, you know, that's what we're here for. We're here to relax and enjoy the little campfire here. Your tuning for that banjo sounded like the nationwide is on our side jingle. I don't know that one. I think I'll have to look that up. AirTap, man, I'm loving this stream. In a way, I have to thank Unity for messing up, as it was your initial video talking about it that brought me to your channel. Now I get to listen to some cello banjo. Hey, I'm glad you're here to hang out. It's great to have you here, so I'm glad to hear from you. I'm always happy to just hang out and share anything with people, you know? Okay. What we're going to do is deploy this guy into Unity. Let's do it, guys. We're not going to let any negativity, we're not going to let any ill will, anything like that, we're not going to let it get in our way. We're going to stay positive. We're going to do what we got to do because it's a professional thing to do. One must do what is right. Okay, so I'm just going to add a display window to OBS so you can see what I'm working on here. I'll go to display capture. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oops. Okay. I'll just, let's see. I'll set it up so we can just view what is important here, which is this part. Okay. Yeah, and AirTap, if you want to hang out on the Discord, you know, everyone in the Silver Falls community is so cool. Everyone's so interesting and neat to hang out with, so feel free to hang out on the Discord. You can chat with the folks there. If you're new to the series, you know, here's some of the creatures that we've worked on previously. Here are the characters. I've been remastering this game from the 3DS for the Nintendo Switch. And now I'm adding 7 new playable humans and 7 new playable cryptids. So this will be coming to the Switch. So I got a ton of windows open here. Just got to look at OBS and make sure what we see on OBS makes sense here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So here's some of the cast and crew from Silver Falls. We've got a couple funny monsters here from 4. Let me see if I can just rotate this guy. You can have a look at him. And then we're going to bring in our other one that we just finished. That guy vomits. He spits out vomit. He's got human teeth. I asked if I could get the Sonic the Hedgehog teeth from the movie, the one that they canceled. You know, because they canceled the Sonic with human teeth. They wouldn't share the teeth with me, unfortunately, so I had to sort of sort out my own solution for unsettling human teeth. But you know what? I'm not going to complain. Those are the kind of things you shouldn't complain about, you know? Alright. If you give me a second, I'll just copy and pasta the files for our new cryptid, and we'll have a look at them in Engine. Okay. Let's see, we got so we got a code name here. It's code name. Okay. Alrighty, and then let me go ahead and create a new folder here. There's a few things that I can't show you for NDA reasons here. Okay, we're going to copy pasta the file there. We'll go in there, copy, and pasta, and then let me just very quickly generate some maps. So, shader map 4, Where is it? Okay, so we'll bring that down there, and then I'll just briefly show you. I'll take his texture map. I like using shader map for just a prototype and get these textures in, because we can quickly show you something interesting on stream. Okay, so here we are. We've just loaded in our texture in a shader map, and it'll quickly just spit out some files for us. Obviously, you would spend more time fine-tuning these to get them looking exactly how you need them to. I usually do a fair bit of manual work as well to get these looking just right. So let's go ahead and get our new cryptid loaded in. Alright. This is fun. This part's always quite satisfying, and I really like sharing this with you guys because as a gamer, I love seeing studios do this kind of thing. You know, it's really, really fun. You know, watching, you know, because it really feels like we've all gone on a little adventure together, a little journey, because we started out with just a lump of clay. I mean, you guys were here from the beginning. It was basically nothing, and now we have a whole new cryptid that's going to be a staple cryptid, an enemy that we'll see in the Silver Falls games, and you guys were here for it. You know. You've seen every single last part of the process. Okay, let me just create a material here. Okay, we'll bring that in. And now let's go ahead and put our texture maps on him. This is pretty exciting, isn't it? I always enjoy this step. This is very fun. Okay, so we have our base color. Go ahead and bring in our normal map, which specifies how bumpy certain parts of our geometry are, and then a specular map, which tells the program how shiny different parts of the creature are. And there we go! How exciting is that? This is pretty fantastic, isn't it? This guy's looking pretty fun. Actually, I'm so happy with this design, and I'm so happy that I could always have the chance to share this experience with all of you, just sort of hanging out and sculpting these creatures. I always really enjoy hanging out with all of you. This is really fantastic. I'm so happy with how this cryptid turned out. Let's go ahead and put him by the vending machine so we can see him in better light. How about that? There we go. Let's move this other cryptid out of the way. Wow, have a look at that. I'm really excited. What do you guys think of that? I mean, I'm pleased because I look at it and I think, you know, shoot, that does look like a Silver Falls cryptid, doesn't it? You know, but he's unlike any of the other ones, which I think is great. You know, he's totally different. You engage with him in a different way, and he looks so different. I think it's so fun. This is fun. This is exciting. And for anyone that missed it, we have our clamshell guy. Oh, this is such a fun cryptid, this guy, you know, because he closes his shell and you aren't able to damage him, you know. So he's quite a fun little creepy little guy. He was a lot of fun making on stream as well. I really enjoyed that. That was such good fun. Yeah. This is great. This is really good. What do you guys think of that? I'll go ahead and just hang out with you and catch up in the chat now, and I'll enjoy the rest of my apple cider. Make a Texas sunrise with the cinnamon donuts and share that with me. What is a Texas sunrise? You'll have to tell me what a Texas sunrise is. I don't know. I do like cinnamon donuts, so if there's a correlation between the two, I think I'll like it. Cryptid on the Barbie better than KFC. Hey, we don't know how delicious this thing could be, alright? It's 100% meat. It could be very delicious, you never know. They did release an official mask of the horrifying design. You could just scan that in using a $10,000 3D scanner and then model it down. If I had that kind of money, I'd like to have one of those scanners. You know, it'd be really cool to scan things into game environments. That'd be so great. What if we turn on our gizmos? Let's just get a little bit of. Let's get the. We have the campfire running in real life. Let's just get a little bit of fog and a little bit of the campfire going. There. We kill the gizmos again. There we are. Ah, nice. I'm quite pleased with how that turned out. I'm so very, very pleased. It was your creation from the 3DS Wii U farewell stream. Oh yeah, Texas Sunrise. I remember now. Now that you bring that up, didn't we drop a donut on the floor on the ground? So it was a forest donut. Now I wasn't gonna eat a forest donut. That's right. Yeah, we stacked a bunch of things together, and we put a bunch of things on a skewer, and we were cooking it over a bonfire, weren't we? We called it a Texas Sunrise. That's fantastic. Yeah, you know what? I have marshmallows. I'm gonna go to the grocery store tomorrow. I'll pick up some cinnamon donuts. Then I'm gonna put a marshmallow in between those cinnamon donuts, and tomorrow I'm gonna have myself a Texas Sunrise. That's what we called it. Hey, that's what we call it back in Texas, baby. They dropped it on the ground. Neo merged out. So air tap. We all had a farewell stream when the Wii U and 3DS eShops were discontinuing. So we're talking about that night. Is I had a bunch. I just had a most ridiculous amount of food with me while we were having a bonfire here, and I was just like sticking a bunch of things on a skewer and cooking it. And what I had done, I don't know, everyone in the chat was egging me on, and I took a marshmallow and jammed it in the middle of a cinnamon donut, and I held it over the fire, and I held it on for too long. I called it the Texas Sunrise, and then before I could even get the chance to eat it, it fell off the skewer, and then it became a forest donut, and I wasn't going to eat that. So um, I think I tried a second time though. I did get to enjoy a Texas Sunrise, because I had obviously more cinnamon donuts. Oh, um, Ben, you remember me roasting the imitation crab? That stuff was pretty good. You know, I really like the salami. That was my first time just trying a slice of salami over a campfire, which I do recommend if you guys are looking for more things to roast over a campfire. Sandwich meats turned out to go really great. You know, you got your ham, your turkey. I had the substitute crab meat, which paired nicely with some salami as well. Oh man, that does sound really good though. It was nice. It's kind of like it's like a s'mores, but for Texans. And I'm just joking because I'm not from Texas, but it sounds like something that you would get in Texas. Like, oh, we don't need s'mores because we have like our own thing that we really like. The Texas Sunrise. Tuesday, I was about to suggest he implement the Texas Sunrise as a specialty item in a future game. If we do see a Texas Sunrise as an item in a future Silver Falls games, it's going to be the biggest inside joke. I think in the entire series of any game that I ever make, that will be the biggest inside joke. And it's like the handful of people that are here now and that were at the the farewell stream. You'll be the only people who know where the Texas Sunrise comes from. Well, hey, it's been awesome hanging out with all of you. It's 1:30 here. I'm gonna let the fire die down, and then I'll wrap up the stream so we can hang out for a few minutes. We'll just hang out and chat, um, and yeah, I better let the fire die down, and I better get some sleep. I'll be up tomorrow. Here's what's on my plate. I'm finishing remastering Guardians and Metal Exterminators for the Nintendo Switch, and right now I'm working on redesigning the user interface so that it it works on the Switch. It used to be designed for the 3DS, so the user interface, all the UI elements are on the bottom screen, and right now I'm working on bringing that on a single screen setup. And what I really would have loved, I would have loved if the upcoming Nintendo Switch follow-up, the Nintendo Swoosh, I would love if that had off-screen play and you could wirelessly send, picture to the TV, because that would let me maintain the two-screen setup. But we'll see. We'll see how Nintendo goes with a Nintendo Swoosh. Oh, Gino's say you're in Texas. Well, that's great. It works out then. We have an agent. Everyone, we've got an agent on the field. Chinose is in Texas. He'll be able to spread the Texas sunrise for us. Neo Merch, who in Silver Falls would enjoy a Texas sunrise the most? Let's see. I'm kind of thinking Karn. Would probably... He's got a bit of a sweet tooth, I think. You know, in the Heavy Shadow novel, Dodger's really into moon pies. I think Dodger's got a sweet tooth as well, but I'm kind of thinking Karn. Oh, do you think I can play some Zelda music, or will I get copyright stricken? What's next? Toad is really drilled. Do you know anything about the Swoosh? I do not. And if I did know, I wouldn't tell you, because I wouldn't want to endanger my business relationship with Nintendo. We have a working professional relationship. So, if I did know anything about the Swoosh, I certainly wouldn't tell you. But for me personally, I would just love if the Swoosh had dual screen gameplay. Okay, Garuda Valley. Oh man, I've never tried that. I don't think I can do. I can't do that. What else? What? Oh man, I'm drawing a blank here. It's almost 2 in the morning. I'm trying to remember my Ocarina songs, and my brain is just going blank here. Oh man. Oh, I'm messing up all my Ocarina songs. Oodly-doodly-doo. Oh man, Zelda's really ashamed of me right now. I really botched that. I'm clearly a Swoosh insider, huh? I've given so many tips about the Swoosh, I know. What if I was trolling you guys and I actually do know everything about the Swoosh? Don't forget the Swoosh has an umlaut, so it has a little smiley face. That was my idea, of course. I think it's gonna be called the Nintendo Snatch. The cello banjo is Ganon's new instrument. Well, like, someone can do a mod and put Ganon in some denim overalls, right? I mean, it's pretty easy. Everyone's modding Smash to high heaven these days, so we can see Ganon in some overalls, in some. Just ascending the castle tower, hearing the strum of your doom, just to see Ganondorf in a rocking chair awaiting your arrival. Hear me out, hear me out. Kind of like a cross with like sort of you know the what's the Super Nintendo game that has the guy in the banjo chair? Xanadu? You know, that box art, but Ganon. You know, and I'm sure we can get AI to generate that for us one day. Phalanx, there we go. For some reason I keep thinking Xanadu, or that's not correct, is it? Well, I reckon it's about time we end our little game, Link. The best SNES cover. You know, I've always, the Breath of Fire was always my favorite box art cover, but the Phalanx one is a very close second place for me. Okay, well, before we sign off, my campfires here is just about going out here, so I just want to thank you all for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope we'll hang out again soon. Yeah, people asked about, someone asked about doing the bone rig on this guy, so I'll share a bit of that as well. So, yeah, we'll do another live stream again in another day or two, and let's try and leave all this negativity behind us. Let's just focus on the positives, and we'll stay positive. We'll do our best. We'll work hard. And before we go, I mean, I do have a banjo, so I guess it would be a crime if I didn't do the. Alright. I think we've had a great night. Thanks everyone. I hope you've enjoyed your nice warm beverages, and I really enjoyed sitting around and hanging out and having a chat with everyone. So take care everyone. We'll see you again. No better game represents its content with the cover as simply and graciously as Phalanx. You know, when I see the Phalanx box art, you just know exactly what you're going to get. You know, you really... You see what you get, what you see. That's where the term comes from. What you see is what you get. And that was originally because of how good Phalanx's box art was. AirTap, thank you for a really nice chill stream. Been great hanging out with you all. Yeah, hey, I hope we'll see you again, AirTap. We can hang out in the Discord, hang out, you can comment in the upcoming videos, hang out in the next streams. I do these pretty regularly. There's other aspects to the game design that I'll work on as well, but it's really fun just making the monsters here and hanging out with everyone. All right. Drill then hears responding dueling banjos from the dark around him. You know, I'm a big prig. I'm a pretty tough, big, strong, tough man. But if I was out in the wilderness and I was playing banjo, and then I heard another banjo out from the forest, I'd probably I'd probably be very afraid, I think. Take care, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you again soon. Take care.